Hi, my name is Melanie Dunning, and I'd like to talk to you today about effective communication, specifically with your partner. Have you ever tried to communicate and found that your discussion turned into an argument with no clear direction and a lack of true communication? Real true communication can make your relationship happier and stronger. It's the most essential skill in a relationship. Experts agree that communication can make or break a relationship. You can improve your relationship today by putting into practice some of the tips for effective communication. I've been married to my husband for 11 years, and communication is something we're always working on, trying to improve, and it's essential to our relationship. It's estimated that when people are awake, they spend 70% of their time communicating. Only 30% of that is through talking. I'd like to share a quote with you today by George Bernard Shaw. He states that the single biggest problem with communication is assuming that it's taken place. I'd like to explore some of the ideas of real communication. I'd like to start by saying couples who can effectively communicate report higher levels of happiness within the relationship. According to the National Research Survey, communication was the area found to be the most predictive of happily married couples. Although we speak to people every day, true communication is an entirely more personal and dynamic event that is critical for growth in relationships and understanding. Communication failures occur when one person feels they are not being understood. If we sought more to understand our partner rather than always seeking to be understood, there would be less arguments. Learning to communicate so everyone feels involved is hard work. Listening is the most important part of the communication skills. Communicating effectively is a significant skill that can be learned. Honesty is essential. Communication fails when people do not effectively say what and how they feel in a non-confrontational manner. Being completely honest also means being vulnerable. A joint commitment to communication can result in a higher understanding into your partner's needs. People are different and have different levels of skills when it comes to communication. Two emotional human beings bring different experiences from their past. They have different histories and expectations into the relationship. Men and women naturally communicate differently, so it's no surprise when communication challenges arise between couples. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. That's a very true statement. Nonverbal communication is how we communicate over half the time. Ways that you can show that you're communicating with your partner, through body language. Maintain eye contact to show your partner you're open and listening. The tone of your voice, its variation, and how far away from each other you stand are ways of communicating through body language. Now let's explore the other side of a relationship suffering from a lack of communication. Bad communication will eventually lead to the demise of a relationship. Couples unable to effectively communicate their needs normally have frequent arguments and feel unhappy. Conflict resolution is an important skill used by happily married couples. They are more likely to agree to feeling understood when discussing problems over unhappily married couples. Being able to resolve conflicts because of bad communication skills equals less overall happiness. It's also impossible not to communicate. In truth, the lack of conversation, physical contact, or the silent treatment communicates a lot about the feelings people have towards each other. Many couples simply choose to dissolve their relationship for lack of not knowing how to fix the problems. I'm going to share some tips for improving communication in your relationship. When you want to communicate with your partner, you should begin with a positive statement and be specific. You can define the problem and be brief. Discuss only one problem at a time. Stay present. Do not bring up problems from the past. Focus on solutions and be willing to compromise. Problem solving as a couple is important. Set aside a time and place that will be uninterrupted to discuss important issues. Try and have the conversation when neither party is upset nor angry. The issue is more likely to be resolved. The ability to learn to communicate is up to each individual. Let's sum up what we've heard. The benefits of good communication skills within a relationship are reported as higher levels of happiness. Poor communication skills within a relationship lead to reports of frustration and unhappiness. Communication is achievable if one is so inclined. It's a learnable skill if effort is put forth. All relationships, especially intimate relationships, can benefit from effective communication. Without communication, relationships will deteriorate and most likely end. I hope we've summed up the importance of effective communication with your partner. I hope that you're able to take some of these tips and apply them to your relationship or lives. Communication is also important in other relationships, but I wanted to focus on intimate relationships. I hope my tips help. You guys have a good day.